Thank you. Thank you, comrades. Sorry for my apologies for delay for a few minutes because of the network problem. We have among us the president of ITF, Adi Kremlin. We have with us the railway section chair, Comrade David Gobe. We have with us Brother Raja Sridhar and Praveena Singh and many of our ITF comrades with us. We do have with us Arun Asthana, who is a veteran journalist and had been in the BBC for a long time. He has also joined us. Ajay Roy, our EB member from the Nepal and very close to our heart. Elena, ladies, everybody who present here. I'm very thankful to International Transport Workers Federation, who has given us opportunity for launching this event, Centenary event of the All India Airlines Federation from ITF House, London, and particularly from the hall from where we are here to launch this centenary program is Purohit Hall. So lots of memories are there. And I'm very thankful to the General Secretary, Brother Steve Cotton, who has given us opportunity to launch this program from the ITF House. Very soon, he will also be joining us. Comrades, our memories of joining the ITF are very old because the ITF has supported us in our freedom struggle. We have a story that here, when the arms were being loaded, or which was going to be used against the freedom fighters in India, then Dockers Union of the Britain, they refused to load the arms. And that the day, that story was published in almost all the newspapers of the Britain at that time. That time, the leader of our country, Jawaharlal Nehru, who was fighting for the freedom, so he wrote to the General Secretary, ITF. And that time, our AIRF leadership, they approached the ITF. So our association with the ITF is age-old. We had been associated with the ITF in 1932. The Edo female was the General Secretary at that time. So here we have found that this International Transport Workers Federation has ever stood with the All India Airlines Federation in all its struggle. For our benefit of our friends, today 1,000 lakhs and lakhs of the railwaymen, they are celebrating this centenary celebration when we are entering today in the 100th year. आज सारे देश में हमारे जो यूनियन के कार्यालय हैं उनको सजाया गया है और वहां पर इस समय बहुत उत्सव का माहौल है। बड़े बड़े जो है वो बड़े बड़े वहां पर बहुत बड़े जो है वो एलईडी स्क्रीन्स लगा करके और यूनियन के दफ्तरों में लोग बैठे हुए हैं। एक अनुमान के अनुसार हमको लगता है कि 1 लाख से ज्यादा लोग जो है वो इस कार्यक्रम में पूरे देश भर में शिरकत कर रहे हैं इस कार्यक्रमों के दौरान में। तो साथियों, आज का इसी माहौल है कि 99 वर्षों में जो यात्रा ऑल इंडिया रेडियो फेडरेशन की रही है वो पूरे संघर्ष से भरी हुई है। आज ही की तारीख में 1924 में तमाम यूनियंस को एक साथ एक मंच पर लाकर इकट्ठा करके राय साहब चंद्रिका प्रसाद के अध्यक्षता में और मुकुंद लाल सरकार जी के महामंत्री के रूप में हमने इसे तमाम जो हमारे संगठन के लोग हैं उन्होंने उनको इकट्ठा करने का काम किया। तो अभी ब्रिटिश रूल में जो संघर्ष हुए वो तो अपनी जगह थे, लेकिन उसके बाद भी संघर्षों की एक अमर गाथा सन 68 सन 74 की बड़ी हड़तालें और जो हमारे पुराने साथी हैं उनकी तमाम साथियों की उनकी सेक्रीफाइसेस उनके बलिदान उनको ऑल इंडिया फेडरेशन कभी भुला नहीं पाएगा। ये जो परिस्थितियां ऑल इंडिया फेडरेशन के सामने रही हैं और जो गौरवशाली इतिहास है हमारे संघर्षों का और हमारी सफलताओं का भी, हम समझते हैं कि आने वाले समय में भी जारी रहेगा। और इस वर्ष में भी, शताब्दी वर्ष में भी, जहां हम तमाम कार्यक्रम साल भर मनाएंगे, इस अनुभूति को अपने साथ रखेंगे जो हमारे बलिदानी लोग थे उनकी। लेकिन वहाँ जहाँ कहीं भी हम रहेंगे हमें आईटीएफ का हमेशा याद रहेगा, इसलिए कि कोई भी हमारा संघर्ष जो है, चाहे 60 68 74 का हड़ताल रही हो, आईटीएफ जो है वो हमारे साथ एक चट्टानी एकता के साथ में खड़ा रहा और हर मौके पर हम लोगों को मदद करने का काम किया। हमें ये बताते हुए बहुत हर्ष होता है कि हमारे इस कार्यकाल में जो सन 74 की हड़ताल थी, वो हड़ताल एक ऐसी हड़ताल थी जिसमें कि हमारे साथियों का बहुत बुरी तरीके से दमन करने का काम उस समय की सरकार ने किया था। लेकिन उसकी वजह से हमारे जो इंदिरा गांधी जो उस समय की प्रधानमंत्री थी उसको उसकी चूल भी हिलने का काम हुआ था। उनको देश में आपातकाल लगाना पड़ा और उसके बाद फिर जब चुनाव हुए तो उसमें उनको बहुत जबरदस्त हार का सामना करना पड़ा। तो संघर्षों की एक अमर गाथा जो है वो हमारे जो है वो रेल कर्मचारियों ने ऑल इंडिया रेल फेडरेशन के झंडे के नीचे जो है वो जारी रखने का काम किया है। और मुझे पूरी आशा है कि इस शताब्दी वर्ष में हम लोगों ने संकल्प लिया है कि हम अपने पुरानी पेंशन को बहाल कराने का काम करेंगे। तो इस शताब्दी वर्ष हमारे लिए इस लिहाज से बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है और हमें खुशी है कि आईटीएफ ने अभी जोहान्सबर्ग में जो है वो हमारे इस पेंशन बहाली के मामले को समर्थन ही नहीं दिया है, कैंपेन भी जारी करने का काम किया। हमारे इस ऑल इंडिया रेल फेडरेशन के इतिहास में वो भी क्षण हम लोगों ने देखे हैं जब हमारे अध्यक्ष और महामंत्री रहे पीवी गिरी जो है वो हम लोगों के जो है वो भारत देश के राष्ट्रपति बनने का काम हुआ उनका। और खाली वो ये क्षण नहीं है, मधु दलवते जो हमारे हड़ताल के अगुआ थे, जॉर्ज जो हमारे हड़ताल के अगुआ थे, वो भी भारत सरकार में जो है वो मंत्री बने, रेल मंत्री बने। तो आज के इस मौके पर मैं एक बार फिर अपने तमाम साथियों को, खासतौर पर अपने प्रेसिडेंट एन कन्हैया को, अपने वर्किंग प्रेसिडेंट भोसले जी को, अपने ट्रेजरर जो है वो शंकर राव जी को, और जो हमारे तमाम जनरल सेक्रेटरीज ऑल इंडिया रेलवे फेडरेशन के प्रेसिडेंट, जोनल यूनियंस के प्रेसिडेंट, पदाधिकारी, वर्किंग कमेटी मेंबर्स और हमारे लाखों कार्यकर्ता जो आज यूट्यूब के माध्यम से ऑनलाइन हम लोगों से जुड़े हुए हैं, सबको हम आज के अवसर पर बहुत बहुत बधाई देते हैं और आशा करते हैं कि जिस तरीके से उन्होंने इस आंदोलन को मजबूत बनाने का काम किया है, इसको और आगे करेंगे। मुझे खुशी होती है कि आज जब हम देखते हैं कि जब दुनिया में तमाम जगह पर भर्ती बंद है, हमने इस साल के अंदर जो है वो 1,48,000 लोगों को, युवाओं को भर्ती कराने का काम किया है। और हमें खुशी है कि आईटीएफ ने जिस तरीके से हम लोगों की मदद की, हमने देश में रेलवे के तमाम युवाओं को संगठित करने का काम किया। आज वही युवा और महिलाएं संगठित होकर के इस जो हमारी मशाल है शताब्दी वर्ष की, इसको आगे बढ़ाने का काम कर रहे हैं। हम सारे लोग मिलकर के इस मशाल को कभी बुझने नहीं देंगे और इस संघर्ष के मशाल को हमेशा जलाए रखने का काम करेंगे। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं आप तमाम साथियों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूं और मैं आप तमाम साथियों से निवेदन करूंगा कि इस मौके पर आप सभी साथी खड़े होकर के हमारे यूनियन गीत को जो है वो में पार्टिसिपेट करने का काम करें। धन्यवाद। आंखों बदल कर मानेंगे, आंखों बदल कर मानेंगे। जिंदाबाद। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद साथियों। अभी आपने हमारे यूनियन सॉन्ग को सुनने का काम किया और मैं अभी निवेदन करूंगा कि बहुत शॉर्ट वीडियो है एक, there is a very short video of AIRF history that should be played. Brother Ajam, who is the ITF India office He is working in the office of the ITF in India, a very innovative person. So he had made a short video. I will request that that should be played.
चौबीस अप्रैल 1924 ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन AIRF की स्थापना हुई और 24 अप्रैल 1924 को ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन AIRF की स्थापना हुई और श्री राय साहब चंद्रिका प्रसाद जी इसके प्रथम अध्यक्ष एवं श्री मुकुंद लाल सरकार जी इसके प्रथम महामंत्री बने। इससे पूर्व रेलवे में कई कंपनी यूनियनों एवं एसोसिएशनों का निर्माण हो चुका था। देश में स्वतंत्रता का संग्राम भी उफान पर था। ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन का गठन कंपनी रेलों में विभिन्न यूनियनों एवं एसोसिएशनों को एक मंच पर लाने के साथ देश की आजादी के आंदोलन में भी अमूल्य योगदान देना था। ब्रिटिश हुकूमत ने यूनियन के नेताओं को प्रताड़ित किया एवं श्री मुकुंद लाल सरकार भी लंबे अरसे तक जेल में ही रहे। श्री N.M. जोशी जी ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के द्वितीय अध्यक्ष बने और श्री V.V. गिरी जी ने 1926 में ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के महामंत्री का पदभार ग्रहण किया और लगभग 10 वर्षों तक ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के महामंत्री रहे। स्वर्गीय श्री V.V. गिरी जी ने संगठन को काफी मजबूती प्रदान किया एवं ब्रिटिश हुकूमत के साथ कर्मचारियों के काफी मसलों को हल कराने का काम किया। यह वही V.V. गिरी जी थे जो आजादी के बाद देश के कैबिनेट मंत्री, उपराष्ट्रपति एवं राष्ट्रपति बने। श्री I.V. सेन वर्ष 1930 में ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष बने एवं श्री जमुना दास मेहता 1937 से 1944 तक ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष रहे। श्री V.V. गिरी जी वर्ष 1944 में ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष बने और वर्ष 1946 तक वे अध्यक्ष बने रहे। श्री S. गुरुस्वामी जी ने वर्ष 1937 में श्री V.V. गिरी जी के बाद ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के महामंत्री का पदभार ग्रहण किया और वे लगभग 20 वर्ष 1957 तक ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के महामंत्री रहे और उनके कार्यकाल में ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन ने अंग्रेजों से जमकर लोहा लिया और कई बार हड़ताल का नोटिस दिया। दूसरी ओर श्री जयप्रकाश नारायण जी ने वर्ष 1949 में ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष का पदभार ग्रहण किया और 1953 तक ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष रहे। उनके कार्यकाल में देश के पहले प्रधानमंत्री श्री जवाहरलाल नेहरू के साथ कई महत्वपूर्ण समझौते हुए जिसमें मैन ऑफ क्राफ्ट शुड बी इक्वल टू मैन ऑफ लेटर सबसे प्रमुख था। इसमें था कि किसी भी हालात में मजदूरों की छंटनी नहीं की जाएगी। श्री जयप्रकाश जी के बाद श्री S. गुरुस्वामी जी ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के अध्यक्68 बने एवं उनकी जगह श्री पीटर अल्वारेस जी ने ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के महामंत्री का पदभार ग्रहण किया, जो 1968 तक ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंट्स फेडरेशन के महामंत्री रहे।
to see
इसी
that.
बीच
I want
उन्होंने
you to
वर्ष 1960 और 1968 के
Can we
हड़तालों में
share your screen?
कर्मचारियों
We
का
are on.
नेतृत्व
Yeah, the screen's being shared.
श्री पीटर अल्वारेस जी वर्ष 1968 में ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष बने और उन्होंने वर्ष
Wait, so it's being shared from over there.
1974 किया और दुनिया में अब अपना सशक्तिकरण की बात हो रही है, जबकि मजदूर आंदोलन से निकली बड़ी बेनकारा 1963 में ही ऑल इंडिया रेलवे मेंस फेडरेशन की अध्यक्ष बनी और वो 5 साल तक अध्यक्ष रही। उनके कुशल नेतृत्व में फेडरेशन ने मजदूर हितों की तमाम लड़ाई लड़ी और इसमें वो कामयाब भी रही। कॉमरेड नारायण मल्हार जोशी को नाना साहेब जोशी और जोशीबुआ के नाम से जाना जाता है। उन्हें भारतीय ट्रेड यूनियन आंदोलन के पिता के रूप में सार्वभौमिक रूप से प्रशंसित किया जाता है। वह ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेन फेडरेशन के संस्थापकों में से एक थे। जोशी ने रेल कर्मचारियों की छटनी का विरोध किया और उन्हें सरकार द्वारा गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया। उन्होंने छटनी को सफलतापूर्वक रोका। उन्होंने रेलवे में खानपान ठेकेदारों को सौंपने का विरोध किया। उन्होंने सरकार से सवाल किया, अगर ठेकेदारों को खानपान दिया जा सकता है, तो ठेकेदारों को रेलवे बोर्ड भी दिया जा सकता है। जोशी को 2 सितंबर 1946 को गठित अंतरिम सरकार के सदस्य के रूप में शपथ दिलाई गई। उन्होंने गुरुस्वामी और बड़ीबेन कारा के साथ औद्योगिक विवाद विधेयक का विरोध किया। उन्होंने श्रमिकों की मांगों पर अनिवार्य मध्यस्थता का भी विरोध किया। वहीं 1968 में श्री प्रिय गुप्ता जी ने महामंत्री का पदभार ग्रहण किया और वे इस पद पर वर्ष 1975 तक विराजमान रहे। इसी बीच वर्ष 1973 में सिकंदराबाद में संपन्न हुए ऑल इंडिया रेलवे फेडरेशन के अधिवेशन में श्री जॉर्ज फर्नांडीज जी ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष चुने गए। उन्होंने एनसीसीआरएस का गठन किया एवं वर्ष 1974 में रेल कर्मचारियों की जबरदस्त अनिश्चितकालीन हड़ताल का नेतृत्व किया। इस हड़ताल ने तत्कालीन देश की प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी की चूल हिला दी, पर रेल कर्मचारियों को इस हड़ताल में बहुत ही दमन हुआ। लाखों रेल कर्मचारी नौकरी से निकाले गए एवं लाखों कर्मचारियों का उत्पीड़न हुआ। इस हड़ताल के बाद प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी जी ने देश में आपातकाल लगा दिया और उसके बाद हुए चुनावों में कांग्रेस पार्टी को जबरदस्त हार का सामना करना पड़ा। जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनी जिसमें श्री जयप्रकाश नारायण जी की भूमिका प्रमुख रही। उन्होंने सारे विषय को एक प्लेटफॉर्म पर लाने का काम किया। जनता सरकार में हड़ताली नेता प्रोफेसर मधु दंडवते एवं श्री जॉर्ज फर्नांडीज रेल मंत्री एवं रक्षा मंत्री बने। उसके बाद श्री प्रिय गुप्ता जी वर्ष 1976 में ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष बने और वर्ष 1979 तक ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष रहे। श्री प्रिय गुप्ता जी के अध्यक्ष बनने के साथ ही श्री जे.पी. चौबे जी ने वर्ष 1975 में ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन के महामंत्री के रूप में पदभार ग्रहण किया और वे वर्ष 2008 तक करीब 32 वर्षों तक ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन के महामंत्री रहे। श्री चौबे जी ने वर्ष 1960, 1968 और 1974 की हड़तालों का सफल नेतृत्व किया था और यही कारण था कि उन्हें तीनों हड़तालों में रेल सेवा से बर्खास्त किया गया था। वहीं श्री उबराव मल पुरोहित जी वर्ष 1980 में ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन के अध्यक्ष बने और उन्होंने वर्ष 2014 तक इस पद को सुशोभित किया। वे 2 बार इंटरनेशनल ट्रांसपोर्ट वर्कर्स फेडरेशन (ITF) के अध्यक्ष भी चुने गए। वर्ष 2008 में स्वर्गीय चौबे जी के निधन के बाद श्री शिव गोपाल मिश्रा जी ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन के महामंत्री चुने गए, जो अभी तक कार्यरत है, पर रेल कर्मचारियों की नई शिक्षकों, राज्य कर्मियों को एक मंच पर लाकर कर्मचारियों की ज्वलंत समस्याओं एवं पुरानी पेंशन योजना की बहाली के लिए संघर्ष कर रही है। वहीं श्री उमराव मन पुरोहित जी के निधन के बाद वर्ष 2014 में श्री रखाल दास गुप्ता जी को ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन का अध्यक्ष चुना गया, जो वर्ष 2020 तक इस पद पर विराजमान रहे। उनके निधन के बाद वर्ष 2020 में डॉक्टर एन कन्हैया को ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन का अध्यक्ष चुना गया, जो अभी तक इस पद पर कार्यरत है। ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन AIRF का यह 99 वर्षों का इतिहास संघ के परिपूर्ण रहा है और 24 अप्रैल 2023 को हम अपने शताब्दी वर्ष में प्रवेश कर रहे हैं और संघर्ष की मशाल को जो हमारे नेताओं, संघर्षशील कार्यकर्ताओं एवं बलिदानी साथियों ने ऑल इंडिया रेलवेमेंस फेडरेशन के वर्तमान नेताओं एवं कार्यकर्ताओं के हाथों में सौंपी है, उसे हम कभी बुझने नहीं देंगे। जो लौ जली थी 19 अप्रैल 1924 को, उसे आने वाले वर्षों में इस संघर्ष की मशाल को और प्रज्वलित करते हुए सदैव आगे बढ़ेंगे, यही हमारा संकल्प है। जिंदगी की जंग अभी बाकी है, अभी तो और कई इम्तिहान बाकी है। अभी तो नापी है मुट्ठी भर जमीन, अभी तो आसमान बाकी है।
थैंक यू। अभी आप साथियों ने ऑल इंडिया रेलवे फेडरेशन की ये जो 99 वर्ष की अनंत गाथा है उसको देखने का काम किया। यू हैव सीन दी 99 years struggle in a very short time of the 10 minutes, but it is so long. Throughout the year we will hold the various programs, and grand finale will be on 24th April 24. There we will like that all our ITF comrades will be there. Recently there is AEB there. There also we will try to hold some centenary program at Mumbai, and there also I have requested our comrades to participate in that. So comrades, now I will request our brother President of the AIRF, Dr. N. Kanhaiya, to give his message.
All India Railway Federation is the oldest federation, and I am happy to say that we are going to complete 100 years in the year 2024. I can say it's a glorious year. No federation has completed 100 years in railways. Not only that, All India Railway Federation has history. That is, no federation has gone on strike on behalf of railwaymen, be it railwaymen, even for Central government employees. 1960, we went to strike. 1968, we went to strike. 1974, we went to strike. The only All India Railway Federation without any political connection, we are functioning. And that is why we are not worried about any party, be it Congress or BJP, any party. We are for railwaymen, we are for Central government employees. AIRF has been doing glorious service, government service. No federation has done like this. I am happy to convey this message to All India International Federation. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Kanhaiya. और now हम अपने I will request to address this occasion our dynamic railway minister Ashwini Vaishnav, who has always supported the development of the railways, and I hope that his message on the centenary year will give a lot of boost to us. Shri Ashwini Vaishnav, Honorable Minister for Railways.
किसी भी संस्था के 100 वर्ष पूरे करने का जो समय होता है, जो वक्त होता है, वो बहुत ही अभिनंदनीय होता है। AIRF को 100 वर्ष पूरे करने के लिए मेरा हार्दिक अभिनंदन। आप सबने रेलवे के लिए पिछले 100 वर्षों में जो भी योगदान दिया उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आज रेलवे एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट महत्वपूर्ण पड़ाव से गुजर रहा है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने पिछले 9 वर्षों में रेलवे में बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण सुधार किए और आप अपने उन सुधारों को इम्प्लीमेंट करने में बहुत बड़ा योगदान दिया है। आइए हम सब मिलकर देश की आकांक्षाओं के अनुरूप नई टेक्नोलॉजी से युक्त, नई फैसिलिटी से युक्त, एक नई सेवा भाव से युक्त रेलवे बनाए। बहुत बहुत
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय रेल मंत्री जी को। ये हमारे रेलवे के पॉलिटिकल हेड थे। और अभी मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा श्री A.K. लाहौटी जो हमारे रेलवे बोर्ड के चेयरमैन हैं, चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर हैं, वो आप तमाम साथियों को अपना संदेश दें। श्री A.K. लाहौटी।
It is heartening to note that All India Railwaymen's Federation is entering into its 100th year of journey. I congratulate all its present and past members for nurturing this organization over a century. I understand AIRF was established long back in pre-independence days when railways were being run by several companies and there were issues of discrimination between British and Indian workers. Since then, AIRF has come a long way, taking up workers' issues with management and resolving them. Several prominent leaders such as Sri V.V. Giri, Sri Jai Prakash Narayan, and Sri George Fernandez have been presidents of this organization. With time, the role of Indian Railways has been continuously evolving and changing to meet the aspirations of our country. This includes changes in technology, changes in our methods of working, and organizational changes. All this is necessary for any dynamic organization to adapt with changing needs of time. I am happy to say that railway unions and federations have been constructively engaging with the management to meet the challenges of growth of Indian Railways in order to provide an efficient transportation system. The future of Indian Railways is very bright, and we will play an important role in growth of Indian economy. AIRF is entering into its 100th year at this important juncture. I am sure all its members will play a constructive role in the growth and development of Indian Railways and wish them all the best in this centenary year. Thank you.
थैंक यू वेरी मच लाहौटी साहब। और लाहौटी साहब के शुभकामना संदेश के बाद मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा श्री our working president of the AIRF, Shri J.R. Bhosle, to give his message. J.R. Bhosle.
Feeling proud that on 99 years before, my federation, All India Railway Federation, was founded by our predecessors. It is successfully working for all these years. During this period, the All India Railway Federation was led by persons like V.V. Giriji, Jai Prakash Narayan ji, who were the national leader. Giriji became the president of India afterwards, and this federation was also led by J.P. Chaubeji, Umramal Purohitji. Mr. Purohitji later on became president of ITF in the year 1998, continued on this post for around 8 years, and during this tenure, Chaubeji, Purohitji, All India Railway Federation represented for the whole world that there should not be privatization, unemployment situation should not be developed in this world, and they have successfully represented before ILO, before this World Bank, and this federation brought many benefits to the railwaymen, including pension to the railwaymen, family pension to their spouse, uh, family pension to the unmarried, widowed and daughters, then pension to the handicapped son and daughters. This federation also successful in getting productivity linked bonus to the railwaymen in the year 1979. We feel proud about it. Another big achievement was restructuring. By way of restructuring, All India Railway Federation have uh, raised the financial benefit of the railwaymen to the 100%. And by this method, we have achieved. In case of in AIRF, they also brought such a scheme on Indian Railway that wards of the railwaymen, they got appointed in the name of RELHS, and then another scheme which was brought only after paying the last month, 1 month salary, the railwaymen and their spouse, they are entitled for medical benefits. It is a insured, guaranteed medical benefit till their death. So All India Railway Federation, by way of this, now fighting for restoration of old pension scheme to all. I am very much thankful, General Secretary of ITF, Steve Cotton, for his support to the All India Railway Federation, and I hope Professor Steve Cotton will continue his support for the common and reasonable attitude of the railwaymen for their own protection and protection of Indian Railway.
धन्यवाद भोसले जी आपको। और आपने बहुत सारी सफलताओं के बारे में जिक्र किया, और ये कुछ जो है वो जो संघर्ष है उनके बाद में जो हमारे सफलताओं का रसास्वादन किया हमारे लोगों ने, उस पर आपने चर्चा करने का काम किया। अभी मैं शंकर राव जी जो हमारे बहुत ही वेटरन लीडर हैं और जो ऑल इंडिया रेलवे फेडरेशन के ट्रेजरर हैं, मैं उनसे कहूँगा वो अपना संदेश दें आपको। श्री शंकर राव जी।
Eminent trade unionists work in All India Railway Federation, like Jaiprakash Narayan, V.V. Giri, President of India, who has done as President of India, and many stalwarts like Purohit ji, who has worked as ITF President first. And All India Railway Federation has done minimum wage in 1960 strike and PL, need-based minimum wage and DA formula. And in 1974, under the leadership of Dr. Fernandez for bonus. And it has got a history of helping railwaymen in all the fields, from working conditions to their wages and all facilities and the activities. And 100 years is a very good big this one. And all the railway employees pledged after 100 years that we could carry forward the sacrifices and all they have done previous or later, and we will strengthen the organization to fight anti-labor policies of government, as well as we will see that their lifetime and improvement of railways are the best of people of the country.
Thank you very much, Shankar Rao ji. आपको बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। And now I request Jaya Agarwal, the women chairperson of All India Railway Federation, to give her message. Jaya ji.
eminent
It is proud privilege to me to associate with All India Railways Federation, the labor organization which born before independence. The motive of this organization that to be independent India, then after move in the labor's welfare, and gradually now by passing the day, not only All India Railways Federation is not only looking after for welfare of labor, but public services is also agenda item of All India Railways Federation. And it is proud to be say that global solidarity is a very prime agenda for us, and along with the global solidarity, we are looking forward that this is the need of time to be organized women and youth in the organization. And proudly say that under the banner of All India Railways Federation, the women organization and youth organization is well organized and ready to move in the struggle and able to lead, take lead for any type of struggle and forthcoming struggles. Privilege is a part of year 100 year of AIRF celebration, and I wish more and more years, forthcoming years for labor welfare under the banner of AIRF, All India Railways Federation. All the best. Go ahead for the career.
थैंक यू जया जी, आपको बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपकी शुभकामनाओं के लिए। और अब मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा अपनी यूथ जो है वो कन्वीनर जो ITF की भी एशिया पैसिफिक की यूथ की चेयर है, फुल ऑफ एनर्जीज, प्रीति सिंह टू गिव हर मैसेज। प्रीति।
Hello everyone, my name is Preeti Singh and I am AIRF National Youth Coordinator, and I am very proud and happy to tell you that we are celebrating our 100th year on 24th of April. AIRF was established in 1924, before even the labor laws was in the existence. And apart from this, I want to remember and recognize every soldier, every worker of the AIRF, because it's a long journey and we have given so much, and there was a long fight in between that we are celebrating our 100 years. So long live the revolution, long live AIRF, long live workers' unity.
थैंक यू प्रीति, कीप इट अप। और मैं अभी रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा अपने हमारे इस ऑल इंडिया रेलवे फेडरेशन की आवाज में आवाज मिलाने वाले वॉइस फॉर यू, वी फॉर यू के प्रोड्यूसर डायरेक्टर, रेडियो के प्रोड्यूसर डायरेक्टर श्री अनुपम श्रीवास्तव जी से, वो कनाडा में है और वहां से ही आपको संदेश दें। श्री अनुपम श्रीवास्तव।
Hello friends, my name is Anu Srivastava and I am CEO of web-based global community radio, V3 Radio, and proud media partners with one of the biggest non-political, democratic, independent organization, AIRF. And on the centennial year, I am sending our heartfelt and best wishes from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and may the organization continue to raise and protect the issues of the millions who need them the most. V3 Radio is committed to be the voice of AIRF, sending my biggest regards to a great leader, Shiv Gopal Mishra ji, a friend, lost of night to many. Once again, best wishes, God bless you all, and this is the best wishes from V3 Radio. Thank you.
थैंक यू अनुपम, थैंक यू सो मच। और अभी मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा हमारे रीजनल सेक्शन की कन्वीनर रवीना जी जो हम लोगों के बीच में है, वो भी आपको संदेश दें। रवीना जी।
धन्यवाद। मंच पर बैठे हुए हमें हमारे सभी रिस्पेक्टेड कॉमरेड्स, हमारे ITF के स्टाफ एंड भारतवर्ष के हमारे जितने भी साथी हैं, हमारे कॉमरेड्स हैं, मैं उनको बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन और स्वागत करती हूँ। मुझे बेहद खुशी हो रही है आज कि आज ऑल इंडिया रेलवे मेंस फेडरेशन अपने 99 वर्ष पूरा करने के बाद 100वें वर्ष में प्रवेश कर रहा है और इसको ऐतिहासिक बनाने के लिए हमारे आईटीएफ के जनरल सेक्रेटरी और हमारे जनरल सेक्रेटरी शिव गोपाल मिश्रा साथ में सभी हमारे साथी आज इसको लॉन्च कर रहे हैं। और देखा जाए कि इन संघर्ष भरे हुए दिनों में उसमें काफी सफलताएं भी हमें प्राप्त हुई हैं। इन सफलताओं के साथ हम महिलाओं का मान सम्मान बढ़ाने वाले AIRF, जो सदैव महिलाओं को आगे बढ़ाना उनका कर्तव्य रहा, और यही देखा जाए कि हमारी हमारी नेशनल अध्यक्ष मनीबेन कारा, जो कि हमारे एक मान सम्मान हम महिलाओं की, जो उन्हें प्रेसिडेंट में चुना गया, और आज भी हम महिलाओं को डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर और नेगोशिएशन करने के लिए हर स्तर पर उन्हें स्थान दिया गया, चाहे वो शाखा स्तर हो, चाहे मंडल स्तर हो, चाहे वो जोन के स्तर हो, इवन रेलवे बोर्ड के एक महत्वपूर्ण स्थान पर भी नेगोशिएशन करने का उनका एक जगह बनाई गई। तो एक AIRF ही है जो महिलाओं को हमेशा से मान सम्मान देता रहा है और देता रहेगा। मुझे मालूम है कि ITF और AIRF मिलकर हमारे युवा साथी और महिलाओं को संगठित करें और उसको आगे बढ़ाने का जो काम कर रहे हैं, उससे हमारा संगठन भी मजबूत होगा, और जब संगठन मजबूत होगा तो देश मजबूत होगा। यही हमारी आज के इस अवसर पर मैं अपने भारत के सभी साथियों को शुभकामना देना चाहूंगी और ITF को धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी कि इसको एक मेमोरेबल और हिस्ट्रेबल, एक तरह से एक हिस्ट्री बनाने का काम किया है। और ये 100 वर्ष जो हम प्रवेश कर रहे हैं वो एक संघर्ष और सफलता का वर्ष मनाने का काम करेगा। जैसा कि हमारे महामंत्री जी ने बोला कि हमें पुरानी पेंशन स्कीम को एक संकल्प के रूप में हम ये वर्ष मनाएंगे और ये पुरानी पेंशन स्कीम को हम जरूर लेके आएंगे। इसी कामना के साथ मैं पुनः धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी ITF को और AIRF को, जिन्होंने हमें आज इस मौके पर बोलने का मौका दिया। धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू प्रवीणा जी, आपको बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। आप लोग ने जिस तरीके से ऑल इंडिया रेलवे फेडरेशन को मजबूत किया है और जिस तरीके से आपने महिलाओं को जोड़ा है संगठन के साथ में, मैं समझता हूँ कि मनी बहन अगर आज जिंदा होती हैं तो उनको गर्व होता है इस बात पर। तो हम आप सभी को बहुत शुभकामनाएं देना चाहते हैं इस मौके पर। और साथ इसके अभी पूरे भारतवर्ष में हमारे तमाम जोनल ऑफिसेज पे और तमाम 3600 दफ्तर हैं हमारे पूरे भारतवर्ष में। वहाँ पर आज एल्यूमिनेशन है, जश्न है, उत्साह है, सब जगह की तो ग्लिम्पसेज हम आपको नहीं दिखा पाएंगे, लेकिन हमारे साथियों ने कुछ बड़े बड़े जगहों से कुछ जो है वो शॉट्स लिए हैं, तो उनको वो संक्षेप में भी आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करने का काम करेंगे। ग्लिम्पसेज ऑफ सेंटेनरी सेलिब्रेशन पैन इंडिया, ये भी प्रस्तुति है आपके सामने। तो इसमें भी हमारे लोकल साथियों ने और आज हमने काफी मेहनत की है। मैं ITF के यहाँ के जो साथी हैं उनका भी बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ, क्योंकि उन लोगों ने कोऑर्डिनेशन के साथ में इसको आपके सामने रखने का काम कर रहे हैं। सो ग्लिम्पसेस ऑफ AIRF सेंटेनरी सेलिब्रेशंस पैन इंडिया। Ajam. ये जब YouTube पर तो चल रहा है, लेकिन यहाँ पर कुछ तकनीकी दिक्कत आ रही है। मैं डेविड गोबे जो चेयर है हमारे रेलवे सेक्शन के, एंड हु इज अ वेरी फाइटिंग पर्सन. CGT is still fighting a battle on the pension in the France, and he has fought many battles and also won many battles. So he is with us. I will request Railway Section Chair David Gobe to give his message.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, everyone. Wow, 100 years. This is not nothing in the history of the union. In 1895, the CGT, my union, was created. Years later was the ITF that was born in 1896. 1922, the railway section elected the first president. I welcome you to the very exclusive club of century-old railway unions. From its inception, railway workers were an important part of the ITF. And in 1922, they represented 58% in the ITF membership. The history of railway unions is a political one. Railway workers have played a critical role building their countries into what they are today, and we continue to do so. The AIRF is not exception to this. Its history is prestigious, and be going through it briefly. I saw many similarities with the history in France. After the invention of the railway, well, the railway is invented by English, but my chauvinist will tell you that it's perfected by the French. It was developed rapidly in the colonies. The French did the same, especially in Africa. Colonial history is a fight against discrimination, cannot be distinguished from the history of the railway workers. The struggle for the equality of workers in metropolitan France or the colonies forged the political characters of the Indian railway workers. It will also build its political characters to claim its legitimate independence. As in all colonized countries with railway, there are always railway workers and or dockers and sailors. The history of railway workers is linked in the history of their country. It was make of pride and your trade. Struggle for equal pay and working condition and reference to the colonizing countries quickly agglomerated the AIRF from 1924 until the strike of 1949 and independence. As in France, for the June strike, in 1917, tune is a piece of money. Until the strike of 1948, in support of the miner or against the Marshall Plan, the AIRF see this struggle also, and a dismissal that also in a blue bath where comrades lost their life. The capitalism interest, or as a colonizing imperialist of the time know how to do, it created complete unions, divided and rules, an old motto that is still relevant. In 1968 is an eventful year in France. It opens the right to history advance for the workers. The road is in turmoil, and the AIRF is still at the rendezvous with the September strike. Unfortunately, 4,000 railway employees were similarly dismissed. 7,000 were suspended and 8,000 were tried in various courts. 8 people died and police gunfires in Pantacook, Buchanan, and elsewhere. 1974, as I come into the world, it's a massive strike that lasts 3 weeks. During this strike, 50,000 railway workers were arrested. More than 10,000 railway workers were dismissed. More than 5,600 temporary employees were dismissed and 4 employees lost their life. The numbers are impressive every time. It's just like your railway, one of the largest in the world. In September 1997, you have a victorious strike with 20% wages increase. That years I are as a railway workers from SNCF. After this brief history, I come to the news why the France is an historic strike against pension. Mishra say, it's also your fight in India. I'm proud as president of the ITF Railway Workers section to have enabled use the AIRF, a class and mass union which fights for improvement and conquest a new social rights. You are very involved in the ITF, driving your sustainable, your safe and sustainable railway campaign to fight privatization and promote safety, social justice for public and sustainable railway. I wish you happy birthday for the centuries of histories and a bright futures. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade David, for your very encouraging message. When I was a small child, so that time in my village, there used to be some plays for the, there used to be Ram Leela in our villages. So when the parts used to go for the makeup, so then they used to call me at the stage and ask us to say some poem or something, some song. So why I'm telling you this, that now I'm going to call my, so give a big hand for our General Secretary, Steve, who is with us. Thank you, Steve. I was going to tell, rather call to Paddy, that you have to speak so long up till Steve should come. That much time we wanted to give him. But now because you have come, so I will request Paddy to give his valuable message to all of us. He is president of the ITF and very fighting spirit amongst us. He is a welfare of, he is always looking for the welfare of the All India Railways Federation. And not only All India Railways Federation, he looks for the transport workers, welfare of the transport workers. So I request Paddy to give his message.
So thank you, Brother Mishra, and best wishes to you and Brother Kanaya and Raj. Brother Gobe, thank you for that great contribution and reminder of the long and proud history, Mishra. Brother Cotton, and also Sister Singh. It's appropriate that we have this meeting, this historic meeting, in the Brother Purohit room, who was one of the longest standing presidents of the ITF, and also one of the longest standing presidents of your wonderful union. Of 1.4 million workers, one of the largest unions in the world, and with a history of progress, left-wing and progressive progress that goes through today. And we've heard much about the social package of health and safety and education and early intervention in drug and alcohol, and the many things that your union does to make the community of workers in your union, their lives and their families' lives, and open the opportunities. Because it's been a hard and fought history. It's been a history that has been, as Brother Gobe said, has been punctuated by very large strikes and disputes where lives have been lost and many people lost their jobs and were jailed. And it's been a fight against British imperialism and freedom fighting over many, many decades, and was formidable in shaping the modern India that we see today. And the strikes weren't small strikes. The largest strike, as Brother Gobe said, the 1974 strike was the largest strike ever held in history, where 1.7 million workers in one union were out on strike. And these are proud things. They're proud, and also the history of gender balance that we talk about, diversity. Now, Sister Singh, and to listen to Preti Singh from youth, the wonderful message that she had in understanding of the revolution and the determination to go forward, that the history of your union is also one of diversity and engagement. And that's a very proud and a difficult thing to have achieved, and reflects again the political, the left wing, the socialist perspective in the early days, but also the determination that if you touch one worker, you touch all workers. And that's where the internationalism come from, as you said, Brother Mishra. You joined the ITF when dock workers refused to export arms to the freedom fighters in India, and I'm proud to come from the dock workers, and also to join the proud railway centenary unions of over 100 years, because my union was formed in 1872, and we celebrated our 150th anniversary last year. So again, thank you for your solidarity. Thank you for your determination. Thank you for your ability to unionize this extraordinarily important industry, not just in supply chain, in the rebuilding of India and realizing the new economic and democratic opportunities presented, but also your willingness to engage internationally in a genuine sense of reaching out and helping others that so greatly strengthens our ITF. The fight against contracting out, the fight against privatization. I look forward to being at your Congress together with Steve, and I also look forward to having the executive board. And it's a proper celebration at this time of great danger and threat to workers all over the world to be reminded of the great struggles your union has had in renewing our determination to continue to fight for justice and fairness and freedom and democracy, most of all. And so with your lovely song that was translated, and I've go to the last verse, I'll finish on this. We were such lovers, will accept by changing the world. May all our demands be fulfilled. At that time, you will get peace. Congratulations, brothers and sisters of the AIRF.
Thank you, Paddy, for your aspiration and message to the million member of our federation, and not only members of my federation. I think that it is a message to the workers of the world. So without taking much time before I call Steve, I will request Ajay Rai is here, our friend, our colleague, our member, EB member from Nepal, to give his message.
Thank you, brother, respected brother Shibugala Misra, General Secretary of the AIRF, respected brother Paddy Krum, Chairperson of the ITF, and respected Steve, General Secretary of the ITF, and brother David Gobe, Section Chair of the Railway Section, and brother C. Raja Sridhar from the ITF EV member. Firstly, on behalf of all Nepali workers and Net1, congratulations and best wishes on the launching program happening today on the occasion of 100 years of establishment of AIRF to all its members. The large union from the railway sector established by the socialist group is about to cross 100 years with B.B. Giri, former President of India, affiliated to the union too. Respected brother Umrao Purohit, who was leading AIRF as well as our entire region for ITF when I was just introduced to the international arena of the trade union, who was a source of inspiration for me also. I feel all the members from India are proud of the union that was established and led by such personalities. Today as well, in ITF's arena, AIRF is well known to everyone, and I believe our current General Secretary, Brother Steve, who is present here today, to loves AIRF also. From B.B. Giri to current President to Shiva Gol Misra, many years have passed and many hurdles have been passed and are still moving forward. Net1, the union I am affiliated with, and AIRF has a long history of brotherhood. Net1's affiliation political party, Nepali Congress Party, had deep relations with the socialist group when in exile in India before 1990. Brother Misraji also came to Nepal for the opening ceremony of Net1's convention on last April 9 and 10 for his well wishes. मैं छोटा बोलता हूँ अब हिंदी में. AIRF के जो देश भर के लोग ये 100वां वर्ष शताब्दी वर्ष मनाने के लिए जो देश भर जुड़े हैं AIRF के मेंबर, उन सभी लोगों को नेपाली वर्कर की तरफ से और मेरा नेट1 यूनियन की तरफ से 100 साल के लिए बहुत मैं बड़ी बहुत शुभकामना देना चाहता हूं. इतना ही बोलता हूं, हम लोगों का जो दोस्ती रिलेशन है उसको बरकरार आगे भी बढ़ता जाएगा. और मैं इसी के साथ ही मिश्रा जी और रेस्पेक्टेड स्टीव और पेडी साहब को मैं बोलता हूं कि मेरा अभी फ्लाइट है, तो अभी मैं 5-7 मिनट के दौरान मैं यहाँ से निकलता हूं. इसके लिए मैं सॉरी भी बोलता हूं. थैंक यू वेरी मच मिश्रा जी. थैंक यू AIRF.
बहुत धन्यवाद अजय. And now I'm requesting our beloved General Secretary of the International Transport Workers Federation, who has given us a chance and opportunity to have this function from the ITF House London. It will also become a part of the history of All India Railways Federation. And in my country, everybody is quite enthusiastic. Almost every branch, every division, they are doing this, eliminated their offices. They are holding this program as a just like not a centrally celebration, just like their own function in their branches, division, and zones. So your presence by providing this Purohit Hall particularly for this function has given us a lot of importance to All India Railways Federation. All India Railways Federation always thinks part and partial to the International Transport Workers Federation. And as you stand with us, everybody in my organization loves you they respect you as a leader, but they love you like a brother. So I thank you very much. And I request you to, on this occasion, you should give your message.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, or good evening for our friends all over India. Well, what can I say, Mishra? That was a tremendous warm welcome, and I want to extend our warm welcome to everybody here in the building. We have a mixed team here. It's not bad turnout for a Monday afternoon, but we also have a lot of people from all over India. Sister Pravina, lovely to have you here. Brother Raj, good friend, and of course, Mishra. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to kick off your 100-year celebration. And for me, and I think for all of the team, the fact that you took the time after a long and heavy and thought-provoking meeting last week on the board to actually be with us and all of the brothers and sisters in India to share what to us is a celebration. It's critical that the work that has been done in partnership across the globe and AIRF, just in case anyone is not noticing, I'm fully bedecked in the colours and the badge. We are so proud to be here to celebrate your centenary. And I think when we look at the world today, in particular the role of India, we're perhaps at an extremely important moment of time, as David, Paddy have mentioned. India is changing, and India is changing in some ways for much the better, but also in other ways not for the better. The pressure many of our affiliates are under to remain democratic, can I say in some cases socialist unions who fight for their membership, is under pressure within the country. But we also recognise the changing face of the economy, their role in the global supply chain, and all of those issues that are critical to the men and women of India to make sure that the traditions that you've held over 100 years about freedom of association, the right to represent workers, establishing good pensions, occupational health and safety, being ready for the future. And I'll talk a little bit more about how you've built this. And that's been built by sisterhood, brotherhood, with affiliates directly, but strong in South Asia itself, but strong across the whole of the region. And as I've had the privilege to build relationships with many of your regional bosses, those relationships that you've built with railway unions from all over the world. And then you extend solidarity. And as Paddy highlighted, the history, whether it be about boycotting illegal arms or whether it's about fighting for the fundamentals, or even examples, it's fantastic to have AJ here, of building cross-border rights for truck drivers and other workers, absolutely critical. So when we talk about what does it mean to kick off a celebration for 100 years, short speeches isn't really enough to capture such a unique and vibrant history. But we do have to continue to highlight our successes. And even last week, we showed a lot of solidarity for each other in how we can make sure the ITF is fit for the challenges of the future. What will gig economy look like in the world, but also in India? And Paddy and I just today had a conversation about the change of the global supply chain, the issues between the United States, Russia, China, and where India fits in this changing world. So if your union and our forefathers and foresisters were important in that journey about anti-colonialism, independence, probably the battles we have to make sure that workers have a say at the table about what does the future of work look like? Where do they fit in this supply chain? What are the future of our multimodal processes? But let's just look a little bit at you know, it would be remiss if we don't talk about the immediate past, the COVID-19 pandemic and the challenges that many of our Indian workers faced and the support you gave, foodstuffs, medical equipment, personal protection equipment. You were critical. And I think we see with the moving position of this government in India, yes, to modernize, but dare I say, challenge you about privatization. These are issues that stem from you being so critical to the economy of India, but not just the economy of India. I would say to the economy of the world at large, particularly when we see some movement of manufacturing from China into South Asia. And those things that you showed, the ability to, you know, move 100,000 people to come for your conference, 10,000 women workers understanding the principles, 10,000 young workers. So in memory of those Indians that lost their lives during the pandemic and our forefathers who fought, we want to really, really support the work you've done in the past, but also recognize as we go forward and the work that Noel, Alana, all of the teams, particularly represented here about our resolution 27, about fighting for public ownership of transportation, whether it be freight cargo or in urban transport. These are critical issues. And I think it's fair to say that the work we've been doing in respect of harassment and bullying in the workplace, the C190 initiatives, many of that was implemented in Geneva at the ILO with the case studies that were collected in India to express how we can do things better. And I think all of our history here is about how do we make sure that we learn from our 100 years. We have very different challenges now, environment, but we have to learn from those lessons and we must keep the fundamental position. And I have to say a little bit, Mishra, for team's leadership, how you've been at the forefront of our work when it comes to youth. Priti Singh is a very famous youth advocate on a global level now, being part of the Asia Pacific Steering Group, but also a very strong advocate for young workers. And again, the challenges we face to create space for more women, the challenges we have to create space for young leaders. And the work we've done in building organising and the tens of thousands of young workers that have joined the railway system to understand what is the history, but also to be ready for the challenges. And I really hope that we do take those lessons on board and we do build and continue to have, Paddy mentioned the size of your union, extraordinary 1.4 million members, extraordinary, one of our biggest unions in the whole world. And with that enormous membership comes an awful lot of responsibility and a requirement for all of you in the leadership, and not just up here on the table, but outside in all of the regions. That responsibility and the requirement for you to give of yourselves and give of your families to make sure that you're always there, handling cases, dealing with disputes, reshaping politics in your region, politics in Delhi. And I think it's critical for all of us that we learn the lessons. We talk in the ITF about being an ITF family, and we want to make sure that the ITF is truly a representative of all voices, all cultures, all religions, all creeds. And your history, your long history, together with HMS, has been critical for all of us to learn from examples. So when you open by calling me a friend, not just the leader of the ITF, which is truly a privilege in all senses, but a friend because we have common interests, we have common values. We are continuing to redefine what we mean by solidarity. And I think, as we touched on last week, climate, future of work, all of these challenges, we need to continue to reboost our commitment to each other. And I'm very confident under the leadership in this room, but throughout the whole of India, and the love that you're beheld in taking the difficult issues and changing your organization, challenging the government. Those are critical issues. So brothers and sisters, fantastic. We're going to have an amazing, I think it may nearly be a whole year of celebrations to celebrate 100 years. Paddy and I are committed to join you. I'm sure David will be with us in India later this year to really re-express our vows. So long live AIRF, Zindabad, long live the ITF. You want to do the chant? Because you can make sure you get it right, because I want to hear them all on the video. Go on, you run off with the chart. ITF, Zindabad.
Zindabad, Zindabad.
AIRF, Zindabad.
Zindabad, Zindabad.
One more time, ITF.
Zindabad, Zindabad.
AIRF.
Zindabad, Zindabad.
Let's have our moment together. Let's celebrate the start of this occasion and let's deliver a better world for everybody.
Thank you very much, Steve. Really, the country, in my country, where more than 1 million people are on the YouTube and the online on the LEDs, they must have heard you and the problems which transport workers are facing and the responsibilities ahead you have told to them. This year is a very challenging year for all of us. And I believe that in this challenging year, AIRF will definitely get restored the old pension scheme. So it's a great challenge. AIRF has always made histories, struggles and success. But now, again, the youngsters, those who are not less in number, more than we can say 800,000 newcomers have joined in the after 2004. In this year only, about 148,000 youngsters have joined. So there is a strong force of the youth, and on their base, we can say that we will definitely be able to get the old pension scheme restored. And there, I hope that because ITF has always supported All India Railways Federation in all its struggles, and the people in 74, you sent a delegation. Mohoda was the Asia Pacific region secretary, but there by that time government, Mrs. Gandhi impounded she did not allow them to enter in the country. So that has been the history of the past. But now I'm very hopeful that such issue will not come, and the government, before we declare for the strike, will come to a negotiated settlement. And if they will not come for the negotiated settlement, definitely we are preparing for a total struggle. So thank you very much for the encouragement you have given to us by your kind words. And I'm very much hopeful that when you will be in a youth meeting and EB meeting in Mumbai, as Paddy has said, we will definitely have a very good function. Yesterday, when we are talking about it, and I requested all EB members, then you said that we have to ask ND to prepare it. I'm very sure that I will not put any burden on the ITF. And as you have, on the second day, you have finished your EB in the lunch. So after the lunch, whatsoever time will be required, that we will take. And I hope that will not put any burden on the ITF also, because ITF, I'm a part of the ITF family. So being General Secretary, I understand what are the problems people used to face. So thank you very much, and hope that in future we are going to meet in Mumbai. Maybe, I don't know, world is too small. Somewhere else, the conditions, as you have mentioned, in the country is not very good. But after all, we have to fight. And if the country is not going in a democratic way, then trade unions had to play its role. And there we are standing with the people of the country. And I assure you that the All India Railways Federation have never looked behind, and in association with all our fighting lot, we will be going ahead. So thank you very much. And now I request Brother Raja Sridhar to put a vote of thanks and also say a few words.
Dear sisters and brothers, indeed, it's a proud moment for all of us participating on the launch of the centenary celebration of our mighty organization, All India Railwaymen Federation, from the ITF office, London. I take this opportunity to pay rich tributes to the founding leaders and the cadre for amalgamating the various railway company unions into a federation against all votes by the colonial rule, which was discriminating Indian railway workers. Let's salute the martyrs who laid their life and thousands of office bearers and active cadre who were arrested, suspended, and dismissed from service for fighting for just demands of railway workers, and pledge ourselves to continue the great tradition of struggles for the rights of the railway workers. The rights and benefits of the railway workers enjoyed today is on account of the struggle by AIRF. We also sincerely thank the ITF for the solidarity support during our struggles in 1960, 1968, and 1974. Sisters and brothers, while we may cherish and celebrate our struggle, sacrifice, and success, we must keep in mind the ongoing attempts of the government to privatize railways and prepare ourselves to defeat the anti-worker, anti-people policies of the government. We have decided to celebrate the centenary year up to 24th April 2024, and we must also continue our campaign for a safe and sustainable railways. On behalf of Brother Kannaya, President, All India Railwaymen Federation, Mishraji, General Secretary, All India Railwaymen Federation, office bearers, and rank and file of the AIRF, we profusely thank Brother Paddy Crumlin, President ITF, Brother Steve Cotton, General Secretary ITF, Brother David Gube, Chair of the Railway Section, for your presence and participation at this historic celebration and your continued support to AIRF. A huge showcase of gratitude to everyone who joined us today and the staff of the ITF for their support to their successful event. Thank you all.
अभी राजा के वोट ऑफ थैंक्स के बाद मैं भी सभी साथियों का बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं. आई एम वेरी मच थैंकफुल टू ऑल ऑफ यू, particularly the home team of administrative team, Alana, Dennis, everybody who have put their all efforts for making this program success. And once again, thanks to Brother Stu Cotton, that who have made our centenary year when we are entering today. He has made this centenary year a very, very wonderful, successful day for all of us, for our All India Railway Federation members. And now I request Brother Steve कि आज के इस मौके पर वो आपको आपके सामने ये जो हमारा 100 ईयर का केक है उसको काटेंगे, लोगों भी लॉन्च करेंगे. तो आई रिक्वेस्ट ब्रदर स्टीव, पैडी, डेविड, राजा, प्रवीणा, एलाना, प्लीज कम फॉर दी कटिंग ऑफ द केक. वहीं जाएंगे, यहाँ आएंगे, यहाँ पे. अच्छा अच्छा.